everybody, it's Doreen, and welcome back to day 3 of my Christmas card series. Today we will be using Erica, or my Silhouette Cameo. And what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making today. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so before we get started with day 3's card, I thought I'd show you where I got the cut file for this file. Now, I'm sorry, for this card. Now this is going to be using Erica, or the Silhouette Cameo today, so if you don't have the Cameo, you can probably still make this card, but you'll have to find an image on your Cricut that has a Santa face. So what I've done is I've gone out to the Silhouette online store where you can purchase the images, and I've chosen this card right here to make. And as you can see right now, it says I own it because I've already purchased it and downloaded it into my Silhouette library. Now right now, until November 30th, all of the Silhouette images are half off. They're normally 99¢, and then on their clearance section they have them for 50¢. But between now and November 30th, all of their images are half price. So that means that you can purchase any of the images for 50¢. So I've already gone ahead, as I said before, and downloaded this card to my library. So we're going to go to my library right now, and as you can see, here is my card. So now what I want to do is go ahead and get the card onto my mat. So I'm going to double click, and it has put it on my mat, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal the mat so that I can see. I just like to see the actual squares so I can see how I'm going to lay my paper. Now when it brings the image in, it brings it in all as one file with everything together. And what we want to do is we want to break this apart because we're going to make the different colors. We need to make his beard white, his mustache white, the hat red, and so forth. So what you'll do is you will click on the entire image, which I have right now, and then you can either go down to the bottom and click the ungroup, or you can right click and click ungroup. So now what that does is it ungroups these images so that you can move them around and so forth. So now what I've done is I've gone ahead and already ungrouped everything, and then I've regrouped things back together that I knew I wanted to cut with one sheet of my cardstock. So I'm going to just go over quickly to that piece, or that mat, and you can see I have my card, the layer that's going to be on the bottom, and then the layer that's going to be on the top, and then the rest of my image. Now this card, I let it come in and cut at the size that it downloaded to my library. So the actual card size is going to be the width 3.63 and the height 10.13. Now if you want to change that to a different size, then you'll have to make sure that you have all of your image grouped together so that you can get everything proportioned to be the same size. I just decided to leave it like it was because that was the size I wanted it. So now what I want you to do is, if you're going to make this card, I want you to go ahead, purchase it on the Silhouette website, and import it into your library, which it will automatically do once you purchase it. As soon as you open up the Silhouette Studio, it's going to tell you that you have files that need to be downloaded. And then once you have it downloaded into your library, add it to your mat, ungroup, and place it on your mat the way you want to put your paper. And then I want you to cut it out, and then we'll come back and we'll put the card together. Okay everybody, so now that we've gone ahead and cut everything out on our Silhouette, I'm going to bring up the supplies so we can go ahead and put our card together. So I think I'm going to start with first putting on this top layer, and This is just some scrap cardstock that I had left over. And this piece of cardstock right here that I cut it out with is some of the Georgia Pacific cardstock. So I'm going to get out the ATG gun. And what I want to do is I like to use some scrap when I'm going ahead and putting down my tape. So we're just going to put some strips going down like so. And it looks like my ATG gun is out of tape. So that's not a problem. We'll just switch over to our Tombow adhesive and continue on. And then I'll go ahead and get the ATG gun reloaded again. Seems like I just loaded it, but I have been making a lot of cards recently. So I'm going to go ahead real quickly and put my top layer on here and get that all down. And then the card folds like so. So now the next thing we want to do is we're going to go and continue on and finish up our front piece with our Santa. So here's what our Santa looks like once you've cut it out. And it is going to lay on here like so. So let's get some tape on here. So I'll bring back my piece again. And we'll get some tape all over. Across here. And then we'll go ahead and put our Santa face down. And I tore that a little bit, but that's okay because I'm going to be taking and covering this up with either some puffy paint or some other type of embellishment on the top there, because what I wanted to do is to look like a actual beard or a furry beard. So I'm just going to pull that up. So we've got a mistake there, but we're going to fix it. You're not even going to know that I did that. Well, you'll know because you saw me do it. But this is for a little boy that is 3 years old, so I don't think he'll judge that Doreen whipped the paper. At least I hope not. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in his little face. And what I've done is I marked that on the back there with back or a B because I want to make sure I got the face, got this put in the right place. So that's going to go there. So we'll get some tape on that. And we'll add that into here. And you gotta make sure you get it in there in the right spot. So now we've got that down. So now we'll add his eyes. So we'll have one there. And we'll put one there. And then we have his nose, which will be right there. So for this, we're just going to use our Tombow. So let me go ahead and we'll use the tweezers to get our glue on there. And I have to make sure that my Tombow is wet with some glue, which it is. And then I'm just going to place this little eye down like so. And then we'll go ahead and place the other one. So we'll pick that one up with the tweezers. And we'll get some glue on here. And then we'll put that eye down. Like so. And then we'll add Santa's nose. Now I was going to use wiggly eyes for the eyes, but as I said before, this is for a 3-year-old, so I was concerned about once he saw those, he might try to pull them up or take them off the card and put them in his mouth, and I definitely didn't want that to happen. So now that we've got our face on, we can add Santa's hat. So now I gotta make sure that I put his hat in the right spot. So what I basically need to do is I need to bring back the picture so I can see. I believe his hat should be right there, so that should be fine. And I think for this I'm just going to use my Tombow and just get some glue on here rather than using the tape. So I'll get my glue going all the way around. Now I know that this card was cut with the silhouette, or as I call it, Erica, so you won't be able to do the same exact card with your Cricut or your Gypsy, but I'm sure there's a cartridge that has a Santa on it that you could do something similar to this card. So just try to think outside of the box, even though you don't have, or you may not have, the silhouette Cameo. You can still make a card similar to this. So now what we need to do is we need to get Santa's mustache on there, and that's going to go right there. So once again, I think I'm going to use my Tombow to get some glue on his mustache. And then we'll add his mustache to the card. So I'm going to pick up my tweezers and add my mustache like so to my card. And you can just see that, but like I said, I'm going to use something on here to puff this up a little bit. So now the last thing we would be adding on the front is his little, I guess what would you call this, tassel, but it's not really a tassel. So we're going to put that right there. So let's get some glue on the back of here. And then once we do that, we can add pom-pom. That was the word I was looking for. It slipped my mind what that was called. So I think we should add it. Maybe we'll match this up like so. We don't want to get it actually on his face. So I'm going to place it right there. So now basically we've got our Santa front done. So now let's finish up his body. So what I've done is I've taken this cardstock. Now it does have a glare to it, so I apologize for the glare ahead of time. But I'm going to place this right here for his body. So what I want to do is go ahead and get my ATG gun loaded up because I want to use that to put this down, and then I'll come back. Okay, everybody, so I am back now with my ATG gun. She's all loaded up and ready to go. So let's get some tape along here, and then we're going to add this layer to the card so that we can complete our Santa. So it looks like I've got enough there. So now I'm going to flip this over, and as I said before, I apologize for this glare, but I just really wanted to use this cardstock because I thought it was so cute. And I actually thought he'd get a kick out of seeing his face. Well, right now you can see my camera. His face in the card. So now let's complete our Santa. So we're next going to add his belt. And right now I'm just going to lay everything down on the card. So I need to fold this down and make sure this folds down flat. So I'm just going to take my scoring tool and flatten that out some. like that, because we want it to lay flat. Okay, so now let's just put our little belt on our Santa. And we're going to add his belt. So his belt basically is getting weaved through here. It probably should look like that. So, oh, I apologize. I'm not in camera frame so you can see that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but once I get it laid down, I'll bring the card up so you can see it. So then we have his belt, and then the other thing that they had were just these two little leaves, and they kind of had those up in the corner right there. So I'm going to put those on there like that. So let's go ahead and add our pieces. Now they do have like 3 little holes here, and I'll bring this up so you can see it. These 3 little holes here. And I haven't decided what I'm going to add there, because like I said before, I'm concerned that when he sees this, he may try to pull and put that in his mouth, and I don't want him to do that. So I think what I'll just probably do is add some stickles there so that he can't pull those up. So what I'm going to do is get everything glued down, and bring in some more light here. And once I have everything glued down, and then I'm also going to add along here to make my beard look like it is an actual furry bib. So once I've done that, I'll be back with the finished card. Okay, everybody, so I am back with the finished Santa card, and what I've gone ahead and done is I've taken my dimensional glue and the Twinkling Clouds flocking powder, and this is mixed with some glitter, and put this on for the Santa's beard. So I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can see it, and it looks like this. And then up here in the corner, I took the leaves and went along the edges with my Versamark marker just to darken up the edges a little bit. And then I've taken some Christmas red stickles and put up here at the top. So that's it, everybody. This is the finished card for day number 3 of my Christmas card series. So now don't forget to come back for day 4. Bye.